Bright screens, bright minds, real estate geeks, all chasing leads and lines. We talk about the market, numbers on big screens, mapping out the targets. We are deal machines. Leads on the line.
All right, that's our new theme song. If you're a raver girl like me back in the day, you'll get it. We have a whole theme song now for the real estate video geeks. But that's me getting fancy, right? If you guys haven't seen the thumbnail that I created today, if you just happened to click on the link and you didn't see the thumbnail today, I want to, this is what inspired me to do this particular live stream, because I was blown away, right? This guy on in the Olympics did an amazing job, wins a silver medal, right? And I'm going to show you the picture that gave me the inspiration, right? So if you look, right, the guy on the right, he's like my age. He's got his hand in the pocket. His shirt is untucked. It just says turkey across the top. He has no fancy equipment. He's just shooting his little airsoft rifle, you know? He's just doing his thing, right? Then the other guy on the other side, I mean, full on, almost like he's doing cosplay for some kind of like comic book character, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. This guy was just, I mean, I think he won the gold, but I mean, he has all the fancy equipment. He's got it all set up. He's got the special glasses that one eye is covered up, so that way he can shoot the airsoft gun. He's got the uniform with the tight leather to make sure that he stays in frame. You know, he's got the special little belt. I mean, he's got all the equipment. The guy on the right who's just doing his thing had his hand in his pocket and just, you know, shot the target. He shot the target and got a silver medal. You know, the point of it being is you don't need the fancy crap to win it at YouTube. Like you just don't. Some of the most successful YouTubers I've seen don't have the fanciest stuff. Like, there was a period of time that people thought you had to have like your drone license in order to have really good videos, to have those drone shots. Don't get me wrong. People love drone shots and it definitely will get some good audience retention. But just because you don't have those drone shots, don't use that as an excuse to why you can't do something, you know? And that's the part that blows my mind, is that people will say, well, I don't have enough equipment, or I don't have the right equipment to do a YouTube video. And you couldn't be more wrong. Like that's the part that I want everybody to get in their brains. All you really need is, if you have a cell phone and a decent microphone and a good script, you can pull it together. Some of the things that like are essential, you're going to definitely need something to edit thumbnails on. Like, I don't care what you use. You can use Canva, PicMonkey. There's GIMP, that's free. There's a ton of free software out there. You can use Snapseed. All these things you can create thumbnails with, but you don't need anything fancy. You don't have to buy the Photoshop, you know, package in order to be able to make a good thumbnail. I've made my thumbnails on PicMonkey for years before I ever got the pro version. If you wanted to live stream, you could use something just like this, StreamYard. They have the free version. The only thing that makes that different is there's a little duck in the corner. There's no excuse for you to not make content because you feel like you don't have the right equipment. I didn't have the right equipment for years. I mean, I know many people that started off on their iPad, but the name of the game is getting the lead. And I can promise you, the people that are watching on the other side don't give two monkey flips over what kind of camera you're recording your videos on. They really just want to hear the information, and they want to hear it from somebody that's going to be honest with them. And the more honest you are with them, the better off you are. even if like during your video, if somebody like a bee flies on you and you acknowledge it and just wave it off and keep that in the video, people love that more. People are starving for authenticity, right? And everybody's always saying, be your authentic self. Do that. And they mean it. What they mean by that is that don't try to be like everybody else. Be you who you are. And if you're ticked off about something, say you're ticked off about something. It doesn't matter though what you're recording it on. You could record it on a potato. I will say this, your audio is going to be a heck of a lot more important than the camera that you use to record with. And you don't need fancy like green screens. That was a hot item too. Everybody's like, I need green screens. And then the problem with green screens is that you have to have proper lighting. In a good, I'd say 87% of people did not have the proper green screen lighting, and you could see the green screen behind them or the reflection of the green screen would hit their hair. Looked awful. Don't do that. Nothing makes me laugh more though than someone that uses a green screen and they live in a beautiful area like Hawaii. They're using a green screen with Hawaii as the background image. Don't do that either. You don't need all that fancy crap. You don't need it. And I've actually even learned over the last year that the more stripped down your videos are, even with the fancy editing, because I got real crazy with the editing there for a hot minute, and my audience retention actually went down because it was too fast. There was too much going on. So even I think all of us need to take a step back and stop trying to be fancy with our equipment, stop being super fancy with our editing, really start paying attention to our audience retention to see where people are going and looking, making sure our calls to action don't sound like a slimy salesperson. And, don't take this so seriously, like you talk yourself out of creating a video. And that's where a lot of this comes from, where people say, I don't have the right equipment. It's because they're too scared to record. They think that they're going to look silly if they don't have the right kind of stuff. But honestly, you're just holding yourself back. There's no reason why you can't film a video. There's nothing that you're going to say that's going to make you look so incredibly stupid that people will never watch you again. I guess I'll take that back. I'm sure there is, but I'm saying that, don't be afraid. And the other thing too is don't think you're too old. I get that a lot too. Well, I'm too old for YouTube. Nobody cares. You're going to get crappy. It wouldn't matter if you're young, old, in between, you're going to get crappy comments anyway. So I know there's some people in the chat. There's 7 of you watching. And we do have some channel reviews. I'm waiting for Joe to show up. He normally puts the channel reviews on the screen. I'm going to see if I can find them in my email box and maybe I can pull them up. Okay, well, it looks like we do have one. So it's living in Central Florida with Florida Team Bell. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look-see here. I normally have a co-host, so this would be more better, I should say. More better. So Stan Bell is his name, and he's going to do living in Central Florida Team Bell. All right, let's see if we can find his channel. Here we are. All right. Let's put this on the screen. Let's put this on the screen. Okay, there we are. There we are. Normally we would do this towards the end, but I have no one to talk to. So, all right. We got living in Central Florida with Team Bell. He's with Real Broker. We've got this on the banner. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that your banner should have some kind of statement on what they're going to be getting from the content that you create. So if I was just to read it like this, living in Central Florida, I would think this is a vlog channel about living in Central Florida. And then until I started like kind of like trying to concentrate on what other information is on here. Of course, I have enough skill to do that. But what I do is I always tell people to make it a statement for the audience to know what your content is about. So it would be something like the best information on Central Florida real estate, you know, because they already can read the title of your channel right here. Their channel name's right here. So you don't need to repeat that on that channel banner, right? You need to tell them what your content is about. The next thing I tell you is that this image right here is cut off where it looks like a box. You want to make sure that you don't have any like boxy images where it looks like someone cut a pair of scissors, you know, like a doll. You want to make sure it fills up the whole screen so there isn't any cut off floating images, because it kind of just looks like you're floating on the page. And then I would have an image of Central Florida real estate in here in the background. I'd move your broker thing over here on the left-hand side. And again, I make the image of you and your partner here much, much, much bigger. Okay. All right. Let's look at your about section. So I would move this information, call, text, email, blah, blah, blah. I'd move that down. Again, this should be about what the channel is about. So again, you started this pretty good. The channel to find your home on sunny Central Florida. We can find you that home that you've been looking for. Why stay in a hotel when you visit Disney or Universal? See, this is perfectly awesome. First of all, you're telling them exactly what they're going to get from your specific channel. And you made it about them and not you, which is very rare. I will tell you that right now. Most people talk about themselves and what kind of great real estate agent they are. You made it about them. So that is really good. And then your link, one link, perfect. Moving to Florida, let's chat. And you have a Calendly right to make an appointment with you. Good job. Good job. Very good. All right, let's look at your content really quick. Ta-da-da. Okay, so we have discovering thriving lifestyles of Kings Ridge, a 55 plus community. Why Claremont's first Friday blow will blow your mind. Claremont's Salt Shack is the game changer. Okay, so you're a real estate channel, but you're doing like videos about different places that people can go eat. I would make it very specific to what you promised them in that about section, which is like real estate stuff. None of this has to do with real estate. That's for people that already live in Central Florida. This is great for a blog, you know, if you're doing a blog, but if you want to be very specific on YouTube on who the avatar is that you're making content for. So to me, it's like, okay, you have the 55 plus, but then you're kind of talking about food. Then you're talking about the Magic Kingdom, and then the citrus showcase in Central Florida. So to me, you're kind of all over the place. You don't have a content strategy. So I would try to find out who it is that you're speaking to and make content for that specific person. It seems like you got a few of these for over 55. And there's a lot of over 55 communities. So maybe that's who your avatar is. And then you have some listing videos on here as well. And I always tell people either you're a listing channel or you're an information channel. So you're going to have to figure that one out too. Here's another one of those thumbnails that we were talking about, like where you cut off the image. If you had pulled that image down a little bit and made your face much bigger, that would be, you know, like you want to do that. You don't want to make yourself look like you're floating and that you've been cut off with like a pair of scissors. Let me see what else. We have a strawberry festival in Louisiana. Our strawberry festival is better. I bet you Fiverr made these. I think what you need to do is start studying other real estate thumbnails and seeing what works on other real estate channels. So that way you can emulate them. Again, there's another one of these pictures where you're just kind of floating and it looks like you've been cut off. And if you're going to talk about Del Webb, Millionaire's Ridge, show the house. This is just, there's no house. So, these three are kind of fun thumbnails. You can use that same kind of idea for your thumbnails in the future once you've identified who your avatar is that you're making content for. You got a lot going on here. I just think, honestly, you're on your way. If you could just focus in on a specific niche and avatar to make content for, you'll be fine. The other thing too is you want to look at the length of your videos. So I don't know if you know this. I'm going to share this with you. All right, share this tab. Okay, YouTube is now beating out television for what people are watching. So when they go on YouTube, they're watching it just like a television program. First time ever, they're just beating out TVs, smack them. Number one streaming service is YouTube. And when people go to YouTube to replace television, they want to watch television without the commercials, right? So a 3-minute video isn't going to give them that commercial-free experience of television. So if you start thinking about your YouTube videos that way, if more of like a television experience, you probably get a little throttled a little bit more in optimizing for television instead of trying to make short little clips. Those shorter videos work really great on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok. But YouTube now is people are replacing television and they're using YouTube to replace it because it's virtually commercial free. And you got to remember too, what is YouTube's main goal, right? They want to make money. In order for them to make money, they have to put on ads. And in order for them to put on ads, your videos need to be over 8.5 minutes long. Or I think it's 8 minutes. 8 minutes long. So if it's over 8 minutes long, YouTube can do what they want to do, which is sell ads, right? So just something to think about. Something to think about. I appreciate you guys letting me give you a little like heads up with your YouTube channel. I know it's kind of scary to face like a criticism on something you've worked really hard at. I'm really bad about it. I don't like criticism when I've worked really hard on something. And it's nice for people to actually allow me to do that. So thank you very much for letting me do that. Yay. Yay. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's any other channel reviews we can look at. I think that's the only one. Hold on, I'm looking. Oh, that's it says tick. I was like, oh, Ryan Reynolds wants a channel review. Nope, Ryan Reynolds does not want a channel review. So, I wanted to let you guys know. So, I'm going to show you this. Real estate video geeks. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share this tab. Okay, so we are now going to be taking on new students starting not next week, but the week after. This will be I think it's going to be our 6th or 7th group. We're going to be offering a month of free extended continuing education after the 8-week course. This is only going to be for this time. After that, after you can still do continuing education, but there is going to be a fee attached to it. We are also offering, and this is going to be coming out in less than 2 weeks, a thumbnail course. And it's going to be like 10 videos. It's going to be super in-depth thumbnail course that Joe and I have put together for you guys. And in that, we even have an updated AI thumbnail designer that Joe Eves has created. Now, I know many of you have used the thumbnail designer that he created before, but this is amped up a lot, a lot in comparison to the old one. It's like kind of like using an old Apple phone to today's Apple phone in comparison. So if you haven't yet, you can sign up for the course and you'll get the 4 weeks continuing education for free. And why do I see, when I say continuing education, that makes it sound very real estate. I should say advanced training. That's what I'll say. Advanced training. That sounds much better than continuing education. Oh, I have to do my hours. That's why it's in my brain. Or you can sign up for the thumbnail course. I have to find a link to that thumbnail course. It's in the I wish Joe was here. Let's see. Look at products. Hold on. Let's see if this one comes up. Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and paste this link. So yeah, so this is the thumbnail designer course that we're going to have. I show you everything. I literally show you how exactly I do my thumbnails. And of course, I'm using the PicMonkey, but you don't have to use PicMonkey. I'm giving you all the tips and tricks, how I figure out what makes people click on certain thumbnails and why they click on it. I get into the whole psychology of it. I tell you how to research to find the right kinds of thumbnails. There's no holds barred as far as I'm concerned. You learn it all. And then Joe, like I said, has a whole screen of a whole section of just using AI to create those thumbnails. So here it is. I thought I was sharing that screen the whole entire time, by the way. But let me go ahead and put this in the chat so that way, if you wanted to sign up for the thumbnail course, you could. There you are. Look at that. We're going to be putting out a new video there too, by the way. I don't know. Maybe Joe already did that. But also, one more thing too I wanted to point out to you guys is that in September is Vid Summit. And if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go ahead and get it now. They do sell out. So don't think that you can just show up at the door and get a ticket. You're going to have to sign up. I would sign up soon because they're running low on tickets. Joe and I will be there. It is a perfect opportunity for you guys to see creators from every walk of life. Honestly, we got people that are, young kids that have YouTube channels all the way to really old people having YouTube channels. There are people that have, maybe only 2,000 subscribers all the way to 10 million subscribers plus. It's a conference for people that want to know how to market better. And as real estate agents, you have to know that marketing is the very first thing you are. If you're going to be successful in this business, and you should know this, you have to be a marketer first, and then you are a real estate agent. Because if you can't market, you're not going to get those clients coming to you that you have never seen before, right? This conference is 10 times better than any real estate conference that you've ever been to. I, hands down, will tell you, you will learn much more than you ever have about marketing from this than anything else you've ever been a part of. I promise you. I don't know how much money I've wasted on going to real estate conferences, trying to find the magic soup of marketing tactics. And they sell you everything under the sun between flags and riders, and it's all hocus pocus. This is where you want to go to learn how to market. So I get nothing for you guys joining Vid Summit. Not a thing. There's no affiliate link. Just go to vidsummit.com. Go over there, check it out. If you do not learn a thing from there, I will I don't know. I'll do something. I'll do something crazy, because it's impossible for you to go into that conference and not learn something. There's so much information. You actually feel like your brain is bleeding. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and get your Vid Summit tickets. It's best money you'll ever spend. You know, marketer first, right? Remember that you're a marketer first. So go over there and get your tickets. Hotels are difficult to find, so you're probably going to have to do a. You're going to have to probably do a Airbnb. I'm going to have to do that. I really am. Let me see where Joe's at. Let's give him a call. Let's call him live because I feel like I'm talking to thin air, and I do it all the time. You know what? This is a perfect opportunity for you guys to realize that whenever you're starting to do live streaming, there's a lot of times that you are live streaming to nobody, just like I am today. There's 5 people actually watching, but there's nobody actually commenting. Nobody's saying anything. It's just me talking to a camera. And that's what happens when you first start doing live streams in this business, right? Nobody's there. No one's talking to you. You just have to keep going, keep pushing along. Just make something up if you have to. So that way you can fill in that space. You want to go for an hour, and I'm going to go for an hour if I have to, right? But it's a good lesson. And again, back to why we're having the stream, you don't need fancy equipment to live stream. You can just use a less than $100 webcam. You can use something like StreamYard. You don't have to pay for it. And you can just go live. That's it. That's all it takes. Some people only have channels where that's all they do is go live. I get some really good business, and several of my students do too, just from live streams. Like a lot of their leads, they get some from their videos, but they get a lot from their live streams. So again, don't need fancy equipment for that. Let me see if I don't even know if I have Joey's real phone number. I'm sure I do. Let me see. Let's call him live on the air. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we're calling him.
Hey.
So I'm calling him live on the air, Joe Eves.
Hey.
Hey.
Live on the air.
Yep. So are you going to be able to make it on the stream today?
Possibly. I literally just walked in my house, so.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I just checking in on you. I already did our channel review, which was living in Central Florida with Team Bell. He was watching at dinner time, so he said he thanked me for the advice on the channel.
Nice.
Mr. Man.
That's awesome. So, you always have good advice to give.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you before the end of the stream.
Yeah.
All right.
I should be able to hop on.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Should I create 2 pages, one for home tours and the other one for activities in our neighborhood? Okay, so I want you to make a decision on what your ultimate goal is for making content. Is your goal to get more buyers? Is it to get more sellers? You can't have both, right? I always say home tours need to be on a separate channel. It looks like the most of your content at this time has been home tours. And I would just continue on that original channel as home tours. I just keep moving along. Those other videos that kind of relate to like the Strawberry Festival, that doesn't relate to real estate. It's a totally separate thing. Air balloon festivals, bike rallies. That's like that's blogging information to kind of let you know the community's doing. You can put that like on a community page on Facebook. That isn't really necessarily like something you want to do for a real estate business to get more leads kind of channel, right? So if you're going to do that, I would make it some kind of informative channel that relates to real estate, that is dedicated to one specific type of avatar. Is it a buyer? Is it a seller? And then try to figure out what it is that you need. What information is it that they need from you, and make that content for them. And that's what I do. So my channel is specifically about affordable housing options. So I talk about modular homes, I talk about manufactured homes, I talk about tiny homes, I talk about ADUs, and I talk about things that are going on in the market that relates to affordable housing. That I'm very specific. I do not talk about anything else except for what's going on in the market and what is being done about home affordability. And I've stayed that path the whole way through. And that's why my channel continues to grow. And that's why I've had a lot of success. So once you've identified that, that's what you should continue to do. And like I said, make sure that those videos are over 8 minutes. So that way it can be content. The content could be pushed out and YouTube could do what it wants to do, which is sell more ads, sell more ads. But yeah, a lot of my students do have 2 separate channels, one specifically for home tours and one for specifically what they're doing as far as their niche. Home tour channels, though, they like home tours, like, because I study this. People love a home tour that is like super like low key, like they really love those home tours where you're just walking in with your cell phone and you're just walking through very slowly, showing them each and every single room. And those videos are usually like 20 minutes long. And they don't show much of you as the real estate agent, but you're just touring the house. The people that I've seen that had the most success were the ones that were just kind of doing it where they were showing the house and keeping it very, very simple. The thumbnails too on home tours are the ones that are the most successful are very clear. It's the picture of the front of the house with the price of the house on the back roof line. That's it. No picture of you, no words other than the price of the house and the front of the house. And I'm gonna actually show you so you know what I'm talking about. YouTube.com. All right, so I'm just gonna put in home tour so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, well that is I'm just going to filter it out for what the highest view count and I should put it at over 20 minutes, but we're going to see what comes up. And I'm going to put the word real estate. Okay. So there's a lot of these 10-hour live streams, and I don't even know how they do it, but they just basically do 10 hours of just home tours, one right after the other. I think a lot of people use those to fall asleep to. I don't know. YouTube is a funny place. But look, so it's very clear. Look, this is just the front of the inside, the front of the house. They didn't even put the price on it. But it says inside. That's a common title that you'll see. Look, this is just the front of the house. They don't even have the price, and it's a real photograph. There's not much editing done to it. It's just sharpened up, and you see the front of the house. That one that has gotten over almost 300,000 views. But look, it says inside. Again, that title. Here's another one, touring a stunning. So that's another title you could use. Look, it's 20 minutes long, but look at the length of those videos. 19, 27. Here's another one of 21 minutes. So it's just over 20 minutes that people really like to watch these videos that are like really a home tour, just a home tour. They want to spend time in other people's houses. So it looks like the newest pattern, though, of the most successful videos is not even the price. It's just the front of the house. So here's another one. This one's got 368,000 views. It has the price in the front of the house. And I want you to notice one other thing. So as soon as you saw the thumbnail, it's the first frame of that video as well. So that's something to think about. Here's another one. Like I said, right at the roof line. There's the price. And then this one was very simple, and it put the address on the outside, but it only got, 42 views. I mean, it just went out like what? It went out 24 hours ago. But here's another one, just the front of the house, no price. So this is interesting. This is the new pattern then. You don't put the price on it. You just show the front of the house. Here's another one. But so you see the front of the house, and then look, the first frame of that video is the thumbnail. Isn't that interesting? And look, it's got 776,000 views. So here's that one. Let's see what the first frame. Nope, he didn't show the front of the house. But that one's got 1.5 million views. But look at the title, Inside. Yep. Here's another one. See, they did the same thing. Like I said, front of the house, the price, and then the first frame is exactly what you see in the thumbnail. Isn't that interesting? So, yeah. Oh, it's not showing. Oh my God, I'm talking to myself. God. Oh, that is live streaming right there. Let me show you this again. I'm just going to scroll through it really quick, but then it gives you the idea. Holy cow. This is why you need a co-host. Look, there's no price. I just literally rambled for 10 freaking minutes. But look, there's the price at the skyline. Here's the other one. Look, I'm going to show you. This is really interesting. So there's the front of the house. There's the thumbnail. There's the price. But look, the first second is exactly what the thumbnail was. Here's, let's see if this one does it. This one isn't going to do it. No. But that one's a sponsored. We're going to skip that one. All right, let's go this one. Is this going to show? For some reason, that one's not starting. Let's try this one. See? This one. There is the thumbnail. If you scroll over it, that first few seconds are exactly what that thumbnail is. Boom. Let's see if this one does it. Nope. This one doesn't. This is going to take you a few seconds before you actually see the front. Well, not too far in, about 5 seconds in. Here's another one. Click on that and look, it's the front of the house. See? I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I was rambling without you showing the screen. Oh.
Hey.
I made a total dingleberry out of myself. I was just sitting there talking. Let's said, look at these thumbnails, and I never even showed the freaking screen.
Oh, you can see it. You can see it, but no one else can see it.
Yep. 10 minutes. 10 minutes just talking to myself.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. What's going on?
Nothing.
Love the thumbnail. Thanks.
Yeah. So the whole idea is that I want everybody to realize that you don't need any fancy equipment to do a YouTube video, right? You just need a good idea, understand your niche, understand your avatar, and you can film it on potato. Your audio needs to be pretty good, but all the other stuff is just stuff. And a lot of people are held back by the idea that they have to have all this fancy equipment in order to film a video. And that's just not the case.
Sometimes I think people think that if they get the fancy equipment, it'll help them make better videos and all of that. But really, like, just getting started and actually making videos makes all the difference.
I've seen some very, very good equipment and make very, very bad videos.
I've seen really good equipment that ends up in a closet that no one ever uses because they think, well, I got to have the best mic. I got to have the best camera. And if I don't have those things, then my quality isn't going to be good. And I'm just not going to do anything. And so then you buy it, and then there's an adapter that comes out, or there's a filter, or there's always going to be the next tech that you can always buy. But the problem is that even just your phone can get high quality video and audio to just get started. I loved your thumbnail you did with the guy with all the tech and everything, and then the dude with the t-shirt and the gun, and it's just like that. It's going out, and you can overanalyze. What cracks me up though is I love Malcolm's comment where he's like, yeah, I'm like, I totally get that. And then was it Bill? He's like, I'm guilty of the guy on the left.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, I have a whole lot of equipment that I've probably maybe used once or twice. I have a drone that I, you know, was like, because everybody had to have drone shots, but then like they were cracking down on busting people for putting drone shots because I didn't even think about it. I'm like, my channel isn't monetized, but they were like, it's still considered. Yeah, but they were still considering that advertising. So I was like, oh, I can't put this in there. So I have a very expensive drone that I can't use because I don't have my drone's license. I know somebody that's going to go get their drone's license, but it has yet to have done that.
Interesting.
No comment, Eddie.
Asking how the grass is. It'd be really cool to see a drone footage of it.
Wouldn't it? I mean, you've got your drone's license, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is at the end of the day, I think like the biggest thing with anything is just to get started, right? And then as you get started, you notice, oh, I could do this, or I could enhance this, or this would make it a lot easier. And so you start doing, you know, those types of things, and you can slowly build up things that actually work. Because I'm like you, I have like a ton of equipment that I bought, and a lot of it is like years and years and years old. And I just like, there's some sentimental value to it, to where I'm like, I don't want to throw that away. That was like my very first like boom mic, or my first, you know, like thing. And so, and it's not compatible anymore. But like the thing is but it did work for me. So like the very, very first camera I ever got as a real estate agent was a Rebel T3i Canon. Like it was like, it would do pictures and it could do video. And I was like, I can make all kinds of video with this. I can make, I could take the pictures of listings, you know, all that stuff. And I worked that camera to death. And now the camera, it's in my other office. It sits on the little thing there because it just reminds me of like, that's part of, you know, my journey going through all of this stuff. And
I saved, I had my first uploads to YouTube were just tours, home tours for people that were out of town. And I had a flip. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you would record on this like box, right? And then you'd plug it in. I didn't keep it because it quit working. So I was like, oh, I'll just throw it away. Now I regret not keeping that.
Yeah, like, man, that would have been so cool to like have to just remind you, but that's the thing, right? Is it so there's some cool things, and you know, people sometimes ask, well, what, I want to build like a YouTube studio and I want to have stuff in the background. Like, you know, those are kind of cool things that you could use to help with your background, because there's some value to it personally. So
yeah, people get hung up on the backgrounds of their YouTube videos.
Way more than making videos.
Way more than getting, like, I've seen, I don't know how many people post pictures like, does my background look okay for these videos? Like, how's my lighting? Who cares? You know, like if you don't have a space, you know, to record videos in, take your really good microphone, walk outside and do videos outside. There's a guy on YouTube that's all he does is he walks around. I think it's GoPro. I don't even know. I don't know what kind of camera he has, but it's obviously light enough that he can walk around with it with one hand. And he just walks around neighborhoods talking, and it's not fancy equipment. It's just not. So you don't have to don't freak yourself out about the equipment that you need. You know?
I think a lot of people talk themselves out of doing videos because they feel like, oh, I don't have the fanciest stuff. And honestly, if you're you mentioned something super important, that if you're going to spend money on something, get a good mic. Like that's it. You can connect it up with your phone, you can connect up with a camera, whatever. But like, if that is something, like, good audio will make a huge difference. But the people are there they're there to learn. So like, if you like, I think people just, especially agents, forget like how many years of experience they have doing certain things and sharing that information. But if you really take that time to really talk and share with that information, people are there for that. They're not there to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe her background isn't done up nicer. I can't believe they're not shooting in 4K when, or whatever, instead of,
4K now though. Like I have my version of iPhone is 2 years old now, right? And this shoots 4K. So no excuses. No
Yeah,
excuses.
you totally can shoot in 4K.
This right here, these DJI, and they're less expensive than the Rode, I believe, and they're wonderful. Like, and you can connect these to your phone, and they even have windsock, so you don't have that noise. Get these. These are amazing. Like, this is what you spend your money on that.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, that's those are great. And the thing is there's 2 mics there. So if you want to interview someone or whatever, you've got 2. And then one other little tip I would say is if you do get that, then you want to get like a little lav mic that you can connect into it and then run it up there. So you don't have to, but it looks a lot better. And it's easier just logistically than having like a big square thing on your collar or whatever. But either way, it's going to sound good.
I just saw, and I think you probably saw it too. Some people have gotten lav mics that are white with a white windsock, so it just kind of like it will blend in with their shirt. So that like the like the lav mics always have that black fuzzy thing on the end of it, right? But this one had a white fuzzy thing on it, and it had a white cord. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen a completely white lav mic. But I guess the brand that he bought came with 2 different mics, and one of them was black and the other one was white. I was like, oh, that's genius. That's genius. So you can look for those. I use a Sennheiser lav mic. That's the one that works best for me. But I find that these DJIs work really well with no lav mic at all. And I don't find that the public really gives a poop if you see it or not. And then they have these little magnets on it. Oops. Oh, Joe just went away. Look, doesn't matter. Look, they don't care. But I don't do it like this. So what I do is I turn it around because it has this like magnet on it. I turn it around this way, and then I do it that way. So there's just a little square right there, and it's not that intrusive, especially when you're talking to the camera. They're not really looking down here. They're looking at you, looking at them. So, good microphone will make all the difference in the world. And these, and here's a little tip to find some equipment cheap, right? So Facebook Marketplace is full of people that were at one time amateur photographers, right? They decided at one time they were going to be a photographer, and now they're getting rid of all of their equipment. You can find some really good deals in your local area of people that are getting rid of old equipment because they've upgraded, whatever. So just go ahead and look on Facebook Marketplace. You can actually even check with some real estate groups too. Oops, there we go.
Hey,
what did you do?
Hey, if thinking about equipment, if you're going to get equipment and you have a mesh network in your house, make sure that the router's plugged in the room, or you will have a terrible signal. I don't know what happened. It just kicked me off.
It totally did. It was like, get out of here.
Yeah.
You froze and then you just disappeared. But
yeah, I'm back.
Well, so what I was telling them was that, like, you can go on Facebook Marketplace. I haven't had great luck with Craigslist. There's a lot of scams on there, but I've had really good luck on Facebook Marketplace for old camera equipment, microphones, all sorts of stuff that, like photographers in the area are getting rid of their old stuff and they're wanting to upgrade. So they're selling it at a discount, but just make sure they're selling it at a discount and that they're not like robbing you. Like, oh, this is the best camera. Don't get screwed over by that. And you can make the ugliest camera, like a really bad camera, look really good with a really good lens. So I think Joe got frozen again. He looks like he ate a sour grape. Poor Joe. Another place to get equipment at a decent price is you can always check like Cyber Monday sales and right before Christmas sales, was it Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales? Start looking around, price out the equipment that you were planning on buying then. But that's also when you want to start checking Facebook Marketplace, because people have upgraded because of those sales and they're getting rid of stuff. So I've bought a lot of stuff secondhand, and it's worked out pretty well. Most of the stuff that I buy secondhand are usually the lenses that go on the cameras, because those are really expensive. And you can save a lot of money just by getting it secondhand. Another one is B&H photography. I think that's what it is. B&H. Eddie, tell me which one it is. Eddie's going to put it in the chat. I think it's B&H. B&H. I'm just checking. Yeah, it is. The B and then the ampersand and H. For photo, and they have really good deals on there too to get equipment. And then don't be afraid to borrow stuff if you're not even sure if you want to use, like if you're not sure if you really want to get into this YouTube thing. See if somebody in your office will let you borrow their equipment. I mean, most people are going to let you do it, so I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, that's right. B&H Photo. Eddie gets a lot of equipment for me there. That just reminded me I have a gift certificate that I've never spent from B&H. I wonder if it's expired. I wonder if it's expired. So, look, let me show you the B&H website. B and H photo. All right, here we go. See if I can put it on the screen here. All right, there it is. B&H. So if you go on here, I'd sign up for their emails, because you can they'll have a sale on something really fast, and you could get some really good microphones, all sorts of equipment on here. And then they also, I believe they have refurbished stuff. So you can get a big discount if they've refurbished something. And they have some affiliate marketing on there too. So let's just look for mics, because that's where I really want you to spend your money first. If you're going to buy anything, buy a good microphone. I don't know this brand. This is what I started with, this little ultra compact, but these are really good if you're only talking to the camera and not to anybody else, because what happens is that the microphone has to be right in front of your face in order for it to hear you. If anybody's behind you, it's going to sound really muffled and it sound like they're 1,000 miles away. Very similar to this one right here. I also have that one too. And I have this one too. You can get carried away. But if it was me and I was to go back in time, I would tell you to just go ahead and get these DJI microphones. It makes all the difference in the world to get these little microphones. I don't know of many people that would tell you that these are a bad buy, because they're just not. And like Joe was saying earlier, you can use them for interviewing. They have 2 microphones that you and your guest can have. And the best part is that if it doesn't pick up on your SD card on your camera, it actually records on the devices itself. So you can use that recording from the microphones and plug them in, so that way your footage isn't completely lost. Because nothing is worse, and I've had this happen a gazillion times. Nothing is worse than hitting record and there was absolutely no audio recorded. Eddie's heard me. Eddie's heard me use some very foul language when that's happened, because I'd spent over an hour recording and I did not record the audio. Eddie also says Sweetwater for mics. Is it let me just look for Sweetwater for mics. Oh, I didn't even realize the music was still playing. Oh, I didn't know that was still playing on in the background. Good Lord, that's annoying. All right, there it is, Sweetwater. So this is where Eddie gets all his microphones. He's buying those microphones for moi. And this, you can this is very similar to what I have as far as my mic for live streaming. This right here. You don't like this is only $200. They're not even that expensive. So, I mean, don't get hung up on the equipment. Don't get hung up on the equipment. All right, everybody. Well, let's go ahead and listen to some Luthen. Oh, I was just thinking you just quit on me.
No, I went and I reset my router. I don't know what the heck happened.
The whole time this music's been playing. I can't do this by myself. I need you here.
I'm here.
I was just showing them Sweetwater and B&H.
Oh, nice. Yes. There's nothing more frustrating though when you get new equipment and it doesn't work.
That's what I was saying. Like,
so that's why you go to the old YouTubes.
I was saying that like that's what's so great about these microphones though, because they record your audio.
They work. So you never have to worry.
Yeah, because I've had it like before that when I used to have those shotgun mics. I've had it where I didn't flick that one little thing.
Yeah, because it has a 9-volt battery or it was dead. And then you record the whole thing and it was like no audio.
No audio. Had that happen. So frustrating. So I told them about our course. I told them about the thumbnail course. I put that link in the description. We're gonna wrap it up, Joe. But I'm glad you're here to save me today.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was on the mountain and I had all kinds of I actually do have fiber. And it did not help. I'll tell you what I should have done is brought my Starlink from my mountain property because that stuff works great. So, but what I was going to say really quickly is that if you do have equipment and you don't know how to use it and you can't figure out or people aren't explaining it right on YouTube, because that happens sometimes, if you take a picture of it and you take a picture of the model, you take a picture of the lens or whatever it is, and you upload that to ChatGPT, it will actually, and then tell it what you want it to do. It will tell you how to do the settings for your camera, for your things, all of that stuff.
Oh, I usually just call Joe Eves.
If you can't call me, then you can use ChatGPT. But it is seriously, it knows all of those things. So and you can say, okay, now walk me through it step by step. I wouldn't say like a 5-year-old because then it starts using like, okay, like if you were here and like it does these analogies, you don't want that. So just say like, explain it to me, but like step by step very clearly. And so it just is immediate that you can get better results with stuff. If you can't find it on YouTube, but a lot of people find it. Eddie, you weren't kidding. Get your license on your drone license already.
Yeah.
Anyway, but hey, if you are interested, I know that you already pushed the course. I'm going to do one more thing. We have openings coming up, and we have the thumbnails coming out that is going to be amazing. And there's so much. Christina has done so much with that, and I'm adding an element of AI to it to enhance, to make your thumbnails just crazy. So you guys be watching for it because it's join the wait list. We do have like a link for that, I believe, right?
Yeah, I put it in the comments at the beginning of the stream. I can do that again.
And if you want to make your own jingle, did you tell them where to go to get that?
No. What is that again?
So if you want to make your own jingle, you can go to suno.com, suno.com, and sign up for free. And you can actually have it make your own jingle if you'd like. So if you're doing live streams or if you're doing any of those kind of things, go ahead, type it in there. Or if you just want to make a song about your dog, you can do that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I made one for my live stream. Now I'm making a music video.
Yeah,
and then, so with that was a free thing, right? So I made the song. Then I'm going to make a music video. Then someone in my chat suggested, well, put that song on TikTok, and then we could use it as like a dance, and you can add to your music video.
Yeah, it'll be like the original video, and then they can share it. Yeah.
So they can make their own dance, so I can put them into the music video.
That's awesome.
I know that's gonna be great. So yeah, get your audience involved. So
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you so
guys.
much for being a part of the stream and listen to me ramble on and not show the screen for a long time talking about how wonderful these thumbnails were that you never even got to see.
You had them on edge, though. They were on edge going,
Yeah,
oh my
they were
gosh,
waiting
I
on
can't wait. Tell me about it.
All right,
That's
bye.
awesome. Hey, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.